You are engaged by Mrs. MS Real Estate as an internal auditor for the financial year 21-22. Good. While applying the risk assessment procedure for inquiring from management and various analytical procedure, you have identified some risk, which is your opinion may lead to material misstatement. It's your opinion at the financial level and assertion level. Very good. Which factors as an auditor will you consider while assessing judgment as to whether such a risk is significant risk or not? Whether the risk is significant risk or not, how do you assess it? SA 315, identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatement through understanding the entity and environment. So this auditing standard should be applied. Auditing standard should be applied. Very good. Second, exercising the judgment as to the risk of material misstatement, auditor shall consider least of the following. So which judgment, auditor's judgment to be applied. Complexity of transaction, whether transaction is there and the transaction is simple or complex. Whether risk is risk of fraud, whether there is a risk. Yes. Kind of risk is fraud risk or material accounting error risk. You should find. Whether risk involves significant transaction with related parties. Whether the transactions are significant. Why the transaction is significant? Because it is with related party. Whether risk is related to recent significant economic, accounting, and other development like change in regulatory environment, and therefore require specific attention. So, why are you going to see in these transactions and disclosure? Because this is significant. Why it is significant? Because due to some change in the regulatory environment, government has brought into some changes. As per the changes, they need to disclose it. As per the changes, they need to compute it. As per that regulation, they need to follow some rules, whether they have followed it. So that may lead to risk or not. Whether the risk involves significant transaction that are outside the normal course of business of the entity or otherwise appear to be unusual. So what is a risk transaction? What kind of transaction? Unusual transaction. How it is unusual? Because a normal our business, the business of this company is to do this. But this money is came from other kind of business which is not in the MOA and AOA. So another unusual transaction. That is the reason we are going through it. Then degree of subjectivity in the measurement of financial information related to risk, especially those measurement involves a wide range of measurement of uncertainty. Uncertainty risk rates where debtors balance is there and that balance is overstated. Or the balance which is saying it is receivable, it is not receivable. And the accounting policy they follow is not materialistic. If these are circumstances there, which the auditor shall consider it is a risk. It's a significant. These any one of them should be there to say it's a significant risk.